We are so excited to bring you another episode of ZoeTV. So, Kay, you're back.
I'm back.
You had a substitute after week one. I thought you left me.
I know, and
I
you
didn't
had
think
to
you
pick
had fun.
someone like that.
You did one episode and you said, I'm out of here. I'm going to Denver.
I'm going to Colorado.
I'm out of here. But you know what? You had a suitable replacement in Ross.
Oh, I can only imagine.
What was supposed to be a 30-minute show, we have about an hour and a half of footage.
What?
Well, we got on a pumpkin pie tangent. We were talking about whipped cream. We were all over the map. So I'm glad you're back.
Thank you. I am
bring it back down, settle us down.
Right.
So we appreciate your
calming
demeanor.
Presence.
Yes, very much so. So we do have an episode today. We are excited to be together.
Very.
And kick off with an amazing interview.
Oh.
Eric Glinz, our Human Resources Generalist. Our Human Resources Generalist.
Yes.
That's a pretty cool title, right?
That's a very cool title.
I like it.
It's kind of general.
It's general, but it can be very specific.
Very specific with the
I like
ist. I like that.
But what Eric is going to talk about, I think, is going to resonate with our residents because he's integral in what you do with the food pantry.
Yes, he is. He's so important and helpful, and I'm so happy to be working with him.
And I think it's fun to watch somebody in an HR environment that is kind of behind the scenes anyway, with employees, just making sure everybody's protected and insurance and all this stuff that HR does, but watch that person want to get out of the office and interact with our residents and have the heart for that. I think it's going to be a great interview.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it.
The other segment, I don't want to say supersedes that by any stretch, but when you get the chance to talk to Hal and Nancy Valora in the Resident of Inspiration segment is something that I know is going to be...
Yes, because just talking with them on the street is amazing. So
I feel like it's some of those people that when you have an opportunity, it's almost like a Yoda. If you have an opportunity to converse with Yoda and you're like trying to extract every bit of nugget of info you can get, because anything that comes out of their mouth makes your life better.
Oh,
and you just want to I got to keep pulling this, because everything you say I got to incorporate to be better.
You nailed that. You're exactly right. That's
Ross
exactly
did this
how
last
I feel.
week. He had like a fortune cookie moment.
Okay.
I couldn't even repeat it, but I think that's our fortune cookie moment of the week. Maybe we'll have a new segment, fortune cookie Zoe Life moment of the week, and I think it's that. When you talk to Hal and Nancy, extract everything you can because it'll make your life better.
It will. It does. We're thankful.
Resident of Inspiration with those two is going to be an epic interview.
Yes.
Because, and we said it last week, almost everybody on this train has thought about nominating them. And it finally happened thanks to Julie Gerke to say, these are my guys. This is who has influenced our court. This is who influenced us. And we're finally getting the chance to talk to them. And I can't wait to see who they nominate.
I know.
The amount of volume of people in their world, it's going to be an amazing person as well. So that's upcoming. What is your initial thoughts? We're 2 weeks in on the university. A lot of hard work on the back end. Pretty fun to watch it come to fruition.
Oh, I can't tell you how rewarding it is because we didn't know we would be able to pull it off. I mean, really, there were some months we thought, the way this is going, will we be back in the fall?
Right.
And we moved ahead, trusting it would work, and it's going to be a great semester.
It's already, we're a couple weeks in, and the comments that I have received, you're always going to get some critique, which is helpful because we're trying stuff for the first time and executing this live stream from a live stream oftentimes. And so there's some works in progress on some of it, but I mean, we hit the ball out of the park with our IT guys and our AV and making sure that there's a channel that people can call in and ask questions. And I think it's just an exciting time to be involved in that part of this campus.
I agree. And we do need to give a big shout out to both Gabe and Brian, and Heather, who put this together. I mean, if you and I were in charge,
well, we might.
Nobody would see it.
I think we'd have a FaceTime camera with.
We would be flipping through our family vacations. But thankfully, these guys took the vision and made it a reality so that everybody can watch all the presentations from the comfort of their home. So
I think our residents,
Gabe and Brian,
our residents out there know they're in a great spot to get a Channel 4 broadcast to them. We talked about it last week, and I had a lot of conversations this week from other entities around Phoenix of people trying to execute a similar idea and are struggling to figure out how to execute it. And they're reaching out to us saying, how are you getting Midwestern and ASU and Grand Canyon to so many eyes on your campus?
Well, you're not telling them, right?
No, it's a secret sauce.
It's a secret.
They got to move here.
It's a Glencroft secret.
But it's fun to see other people calling and asking, how are you guys doing that when places like in ASU or Grand are still trying to figure things out for their students. So,
well, it's Glencroft University, Chancellor.
Thank you, Director. So, Kay, we're off and running.
We are.
We got 2 great interviews. We'll see you on the flippity flip. We are so excited to bring back this week's segment of Resident of Inspiration. And Hal and Nancy were nominated last week by Julie Gerke. And just to preface, you weren't here, but Hal and Nancy, you guys have been so close to being nominated since we started this thing 6 weeks ago. And almost every conversation is, I want to do Hal and Nancy, but I know somebody else is going to do them. I'll do so-and-so. So so we got to pull the trigger finally on these guys at some point, because you are on top of everybody's list. Wow. It's some of the most, special relationships you guys have developed on this campus. So, Kay, are we excited?
Oh, exactly. I'd nominate you if I was able to. I get that.
That's very humbling.
Yes,
I'll tell you, it's very humbling.
Yes.
So what was your take when you saw Julie kind of talk highly of you guys and you got the official nomination finally? What was your thoughts?
Oh, it was a surprise. A pleasant surprise, and very, as Hal said, very humbling to think that we would be nominated. And we just really enjoy being there, and the Lord I'm convinced the Lord has placed us there.
Yeah.
And because there's so many different things that it just comes out of us to do things for people.
Sure.
It's just, that's the way He's made us.
Well, it's the way your heart is,
yeah.
the way you're wired.
Awesome.
Yeah, and when I'm the one that walked in here at Glencroft to start with to decide if we were going to, look at it.
That's when I was a patient.
Yeah, and so I walked around with the one that they showed us, which is like ours, and I said, where do I sign? It was one of those things that I knew right then that was the place we were supposed to be, and then here we got the one right there by the laundromat and the mailboxes where everybody comes. So it's really great. We can, check with people, and so it's been a really great experience for us.
Well, you guys have influenced a lot of people out there.
Thank you.
Whether you know it or not, your name comes up across the board, and I think Kay would echo that.
I would echo that, and not just other residents, staff.
Absolutely.
You have made me feel important here, honestly, over and over, and I could not be more grateful for the friendship. I feel not like I work here and you're a resident. I feel like we're friends.
Yes.
And forever friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice that we have things like the Friendship Foundation that we can support. And when it came to our attention that there are people in the towers that couldn't afford their lunches or their dinners or whatever food, that's when we decided that we're going to give of what we have. And that's when we decided to give to the food bank and give to the Friendship Foundation, so that they could take care of those people that needed money for food assistance.
And very generously, believe me.
The Lord's been generous to us.
Well,
the Lord's been generous to us, and so we just want to give back what we can.
Awesome.
We don't do it just this is Hal and Nancy. We do it because the Lord is leading us.
That's evident.
And we're just trying to live what He wants us to do.
That's for sure.
Well,
thanks to her.
The way you guys are wired, it's evident to everybody out there where your hearts are. So, the fun part of this segment is watching the Resident of Inspiration train go around the campus and watch the nominations come from all the courts and over to towers and over. It's bounced all over campus, which has been a fun process for us to see. Sure. And I think it's time where the moment of truth that you guys get to tell everybody out there who has inspired you on this campus.
I'll let you announce it.
Well, it would be Diane Vance Morrison. She is in our court, and that lady, she's out there sweeping the walks almost every morning, sweeping the leaves off.
Yep.
She's helping right now. When we have different people who need something, if it's going to the marketplace, the Wednesday marketplace, and picking up extra food for somebody. She came by yesterday and had some extra bagels and said, "Here." We said she's going to have to put us on as
We're going to dependent
because they're always bringing. She and Rudy sometimes can't eat what they get with their lunch, and they bring it up to us.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so anyway, she's just really loving and just really likes to take care of people and help people, and we just really feel she deserves.
Well,
I agree with
That's a
that.
great
And I do see her sweeping when I'm walking.
yes.
and then
She
there's
really
about 7 or
cares.
8 families in Court 8 that she takes care of as far as going by and making sure they're okay, or do you need this, do you need that, and she's willing to get it. She and Rudy have even taken 2 or 3 of the ladies shopping at Fry's or Safeway or Albertsons, wherever they want to go. Rudy and her, Diane, take them, and this is just something that's above and beyond
that's right.
the
I was gonna
call.
say, above and beyond.
When they moved into 102, we were just so glad to have a couple in there, because 102 seemed to be a transit for Court 8 for a while. We had about 3 families in there in a very short time, but then Rudy and Diane moved in, and bam, then they're pretty solid. And their puppies are just gorgeous. They're just wonderful. They love to see people, and they love to go for walks.
Well, I think you struck a chord when we're talking about everybody going through COVID and having to have each other's, eyes on each other. And you guys are family, and staff and residents are family, and we all have to have each other's back. And I think nominating somebody who goes above and beyond, especially going through what we've all gone through, I think is a perfect nomination, because that's what we're all about. That's what Glencraft has always been about.
Right. Just like when Nancy was in the hospital recently, she had diverticulitis, and she had a bladder and urinary infection, and she was really in the hospital, and everybody seemed to come by. Diane, Julie, Pollyanna, Myrna, Sandy Sheilak, Gloria, they were all there. Jolene from next door, and Judith. I mean, they just, you need something, Hal, just let me know. Well, I could use this. Bam.
On it.
Yep.
There it was. I mean, that's what we like about Glencraft. It's such a close family, the whole campus.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we have this great organization of our community of faith that really goes above and beyond. Bob Rudd responded yesterday to an anxiety crisis in Court 8 at 6:30 in the morning. He was there. And, you don't have many people that do that. And I want to say, I remember, I think I met Kay and Joan when we were talking about the new pastor we wanted to get when Pastor Carson was leaving. And we got Pastor Joel in mind, and Bob Montgomery and myself and Frank Youngkin, and I just can't name them all. Hey, Joel's the man for it, and bam, here he is, and he's been there ever since. And boy, what a blessing he's been.
Yes.
But I was glad to be part of that to get started, because I just thought that we needed to have something in leadership like that. So.
Yes.
And then Nancy saw when I was a patient on the 4th floor from my MRSA. She took a tour, like she said, and she was ready to sign that day. That was 2011, but it was the next year we finally moved
2012 is when you came on.
Exactly, August the 6th.
August.
Came up the day in my chair, and there's Steve knocking at the door. I said, "What do you want, Steve?" He says, "I'm going to change your filters." You mean I don't have to get up there and reach you? No, he was there to change his filter, and he changes light bulbs. Wow, come on.
This is the lifestyle.
Yes.
Well, being from 2012 to 20, you guys have seen a lot of changes on this campus.
Yes.
I'm sure. You've
we
kind of
sure
been
have.
around.
And we like the changes. They're very good. When Lish and John Pikage came on board for the dining services, what a change. I mean, and then we have a man named Brent, who's the chef in Henry's Place. The quality of food in Henry's Place has increased since he's been there.
That's good
and that
to
was
hear.
Lish's hiring of him.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I met him, and I'm impressed by the man. He does very good.
You know him a little bit.
I get
can
him.
okay those, but that's not the important part. The important part is that he's good.
He is good.
He's almost as good as his mother.
Oh, well, yeah, you haven't had my cooking.
That's very cool. Well, guys, we appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Telling your story.
Thank you.
And I can't say enough, the amount of conversations we've had where your names come up on this segment of Residence, it's everybody on this campus.
Well, we're glad to be here.
It's long deserved, and we're glad you're here. We've got some vouchers to get you over to eat some more of their good food over there. Take Diane to lunch, and we're just excited to give that to you.
Good. Well, thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Great.
Can we pray before we go?
I love that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. Heavenly Father, right now, I just want to thank you so much for this opportunity to talk about how much Glencroft means to us and how much people think about Nancy and me. And we didn't come here, Lord, just to be praised, but we came here to serve. And thank you for opening the door that we can serve others as others have served us in the past. Thank you for Steve. Thank you for Kay. Thank you for Gabe. Thank you for Brian. Thank you for all they do for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
We are so excited to have Eric, my partner in crime in the food pantry, here to talk about, well, we'd like to introduce you so the residents can know more about you. And then I thought, what a great opportunity for us to talk about the behind the scenes stuff that goes on in the food pantry, because I think you and I agree it's been an amazing blessing for the residents and the staff.
Yeah.
So, Eric, where did it all begin? I mean, tell us about your trip here to Glencroft.
Okay. Well, I lived in Phoenix in 2009 and 2010, and then I got a job, civilian position with the Air Force.
Okay. Oh, you were in the Air Force?
No, I was a civilian working for the Air Force.
Okay.
So I lived overseas for 5 years. I was in the UK, and then the Air Force said, okay, you got to go back to the States. And so they wound up placing me in a base in Mississippi. And I wasn't a fan of Mississippi, and my sister and my family is here.
What years were that? Where were you in Mississippi?
I was in Mississippi from 2015 to 2020.
Okay.
No, 2019.
Okay.
Like a week before 2020.
It's a long stint over there.
Yes. And I don't know much, maybe you do, but what do you mean a civilian? So you weren't?
I was not considered a military member. I was considered a civilian employee working for the DOD.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't know that existed. So awesome. Okay, and you liked that?
Yeah. Well, I particularly loved being overseas because the UK is an amazing country.
Yes.
The people are brilliant. The climate, I loved the climate.
Oh, I would too. I'm with you.
And so, I mean, I was a big fan of living over there.
That is cool.
So when I got back and I found myself in Mississippi, I started yearning to be closer to my sister again. And her kids are here, and so
Uncle Eric.
I just decided to come back to Phoenix.
So just to stay on that, what were you doing for those guys as a civilian? What was your role?
I worked in Human Resources.
So you were in HR in that environment also?
Yeah, I started off as a staffer, and then I went over to employee relations, which was the sort of the dealing with problems as they arose, you know?
Sure, yes.
So it was a great
That never happens, I'm sure, anywhere.
into here, HR, okay.
All right, so when did you come on board here at Glencroft?
I started here in March.
In March, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine starting in March when everything
right into
turned
the fire.
upside down?
I got this job about 3 weeks before the governor instituted the lockdown.
Wow.
Okay, so for everybody out there, what is your role here at Glencroft?
I work in the Human Resources office. I'm a Human Resources Generalist, so I'm there to answer any sort of questions that might come up. If Lori and Tommy, for example, can't be found, I am doing a lot of the staffing for the entire campus.
Okay.
My primary role was going to be Providence Place, but because obviously they're on lockdown, so my talents are being utilized across the entire campus as a result of that.
That's great. And you forgot to mention part of your job
is the food bank.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay, so I know my take on it, and I know that since it started, I wanted to volunteer because it is a great opportunity to see the residents.
It is.
And talk with them. But
Yeah.
tell me what you think. Tell me from your perspective.
Well, I agree with you, Kay.
Okay.
You know, because of the nature of my job, I don't have a whole lot of interaction with the residents, and so for me, it is an opportunity to get to see some of them and get to know them a little bit better, and for them to actually see me and know who I am as well.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I really enjoy it. You know, it is a lot of work when we do it.
Is
But it is
a lot of
it is
work.
very worthwhile,
Right.
and I'm thrilled whenever somebody comes in and oohs and ahs over the new stuff that we have, and yeah, it's a great experience.
It is. And, you know, for those of you who haven't been, the really amazing part is we've had so many fresh fruits and vegetables added.
Yeah.
And we know that everybody loves it because those are gone.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know?
those are the first things that go every single food.
Right.
food bank.
And what some probably don't know that you and I know super well is that after the residents go through,
Yep.
we make about 170
Yep,
bags for the staff.
For the staff members that can't make it over because they work in assisted living or they work in Providence Place, that way they get full advantage of everything that we have in there without having to, you know, endanger the residents who are
Right.
in the most vulnerable
Right.
states.
I think
Right, and
that's-
I don't know, but I have to tell you, I watched this guy on a weekly basis deliver all
I
of
know.
those
I see him on the- I see him with the
170
cart.
bags,
Oh.
and coming back just
Just
like
dripping.
it had been raining outside because it was so hot.
It's that Mississippi like humidity.
Yes, and it took you back to the roots of Mississippi.
115 degrees, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but
But you-
you know, at that time, you know, we were using the little tiny carts to do it.
Yep.
And it was taking me like six trips over to Providence Place
I
just to get
know.
the nursing staff done. That doesn't count the you know, this housekeeper and staff or the dining staff. So it was a lot of work. But you know, at the end of the day, it was worth it because
It was the right thing to
it was
do.
the right thing to do, and we want to make sure that everybody gets the ability to benefit from, you know, the food that we're bringing in.
Right.
So,
Right.
And one thing I want to say about Eric, if you don't know Eric, you've got to just come talk to him. He has the absolute best laugh. I mean, am I right? We have
I hear it.
We hear it, and the residents love it because when something makes you laugh, it is fun to hear. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, really,
Yeah.
for all the work you put in every week. And I know it's gotten down to just a few of us some weeks.
Yep.
But you know what? We're all there because we do love the residents.
Yep.
And I think it's important what you guys illustrated with what you are doing afterwards for staff and how much time and effort behind the scenes goes to building those bags. Because I think a lot of our residents are so appreciative, but they just leave and they don't know how hard that is to execute every week and what you're doing for the staff. It's fun to be able to hear you guys talk about it because that's a big ship that you guys are pushing uphill.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think we should also give a shout out to Barbara.
Oh, yes.
And Michelle,
And Michelle.
because the four of us, I like to joke that we're the core team because
Yes.
we're there every other Wednesday. We're there, and we're the ones that are doing it. You know, we do have some occasional people that
Sure.
come in as they can, but the four of us are really
We're the team.
we're the
food
team. We're the
pantry.
core team.
Team food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and they are amazing. And something that I love about it is you get to see everybody at their best because they are so excited.
Yeah.
I think the residents, I've heard comments like, you know, this saved me, or
Yeah.
I am going to eat good today, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just why you do it.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Well, we are excited that you came on.
Thank you.
I think it's fun to get a fresh face that residents might, if they didn't take
Yeah.
part, they might say, I've seen him wandering. I wonder what he did. I think,
Yes.
I think that's always great to get on camera, is to get some background to you too. I mean,
Yeah.
we both learned something about him I didn't know.
I didn't even know that existed. I only
But
thought you could
Glencroft
work in
is
the
the first
military if you were in it.
senior living facility you've worked at?
No, this is my first time.
This is the first time
Yeah.
you've done in that environment?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, I love the mission of the organization. You know,
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons that I wanted to work here. You know, when I lived at home, I lived with my grandmother for all of my high school career. She moved in with us because she couldn't be on her own anymore. And we didn't have the option of putting her in a facility like this. And so I so appreciated the mission, and it was very close to my heart.
Oh, that's great.
You know, trying to make our residents aging into something that is to be celebrated, and not something that's going to be a hindrance to them, but it's something that they can look forward to. And they have,
it's a great chapter to be in.
You know, they have people like us that want them to be everything that they can be as they successfully age.
That's well put.
Really well put. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you much. What a show, Kay!
It was so great.
Man, it was great. I knew it would be great, and it was great, and we hope you thought it was great, because when you get to interview somebody from an HR perspective and all that they are doing for this campus and have the heart and why the mission of Glencroft drew them to working here, and to watch that person think outside the box of how somebody in his position can actually touch on tangible ways to affect our residents.
And you know what I do love about that segment is you learn things about people we work with every day that you wouldn't know.
His office is literally right behind mine, and I had no clue on some of that stuff.
Well, I know, and I work with them all the time, you know, in the food pantry, and the grandmother story, you know, there are so many things that happen to us throughout our life that make us make decisions. And you just don't know that about people until you dive into their life.
You don't know backstories that led someone to be in this moment right now.
It was inspiring.
So I think, as always, we try to bring a couple segments of, you know, with the residents, but then as some staff, because, you know, a lot of the comments we've had on ZoeTV is we really like when you do some of the staff stuff. So we learn more about who these people are. That we see them walking around and they know they're here to help us have a better life. But we need perspective, we need context of what chose him to be at Glencroft.
Right.
And I think segments like that and how he articulated that was really cool.
I agree.
Okay, Hal and Nancy.
Oh,
were you going to tear up?
Yeah, they were more amazing than
They're more amazing than I thought
they were possible, but
they were.
I always thought they were that amazing. So I don't know. They were amazing.
I'm going to go with they met my expectations.
Oh, they exceeded mine. So
did they? I knew what they were going to bring to the table.
Yeah, they were.
You thought they were going to be worse than they were?
That is not at all what I said.
No,
I had high expectations.
You did have high expectations. We were both excited about the interview, and I just know from only being here a couple years how instrumental when I came to Glencroft, the encouraging notes that Nancy hand wrote little cards, and all that goes such a long way to staff. And you touched on it with them. It's those thoughtful messages. Hal is so quick to reach out to me and how my oldest son is doing in football, and we have that bond because of his son playing football. But all that bridges the gap of I'm nervous, I got a new place to work into. And I love these people. And that was one of the first experiences I had was with those two. And
me too.
I don't think that's rare. I think they are very quick to attach themselves to staff. And what can we do to help you guys? And I think with what they talked about being the resident of inspiration and having this nucleus in their area, but that it's a community and they don't want to be boastful on propping them up, but that they understand they're here for a reason. And they were designed by God to produce fruit on this campus.
Yes, and they certainly have.
They are doing that. So
continue.
I am looking forward, though, to their selection. Diane.
I know. Good call on that.
That's a great call.
Yes.
We love Diane. Choice. Diane is an amazing lady and has done as well, so well for our other residents around her in that environment. So I love to see the ship move around campus and to see Diane come with what she'll nominate next week. That's exciting stuff.
It's great. Moving it forward.
All right. On that note, guys, another episode. is complete. The university is in full swing.
Yes, it is.
We please invite you to watch on Channel 4. We have the call-in number with questions. I think most of our lectures are between the 10 to 12 to sold out at 15 marks. So there's a little room, and we got a little margin there. So, you can call the Performance Center to see if there's availability. But we've got a great docket this week on the lecture circuit, so we hope you tune in.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you on the next time.